study, like this is a very long topic, so we will just study today what are the types, what is the entity, what are the types of entities are there, okay, and attributes, okay, and types of attributes we'll study, and the relationship probably in the next class, okay. So moving, so basically we'll study about what is the entities and attributes. So what do you mean by entity? So entity is something or a specific, like you can think of a specific object which has physical existence. For example, you can think student. Student is obviously an object which has like a physical entity, right? So a physical existence, right? Similarly, a car have physical existence. So this can also be an entity. Employee, similarly, employee also has physical entity, like existence. So it will be known as the entity. Anything which has physical uh, existence are known as entities. Now, what do you mean by attributes? So attributes, in the when we were going through our lab class, that time I told you attributes, basically we need to think of like the columns in DBMS is known as the this one attributes. But what are these columns? These are nothing but the properties of the entities. Okay, these are the properties of the entities. So these properties, like for student, there can be several properties can be there, like the roll number can be there, then the student name can be there, then student course, it can be one of the entity. Similarly, for an employee also, the employee ID, then employee name, then he works in which department, phone number, so quiz qualification, his years of experience, his date of joining. So these are the properties they possess. Okay, now this type of attributes, whatever attributes I mentioned, like name, then employee ID, these are the attributes, right? Now these attributes are basically various types are there. Okay, for these attributes also. So here we'll study about this. These are the types. Okay, composite versus simple attributes, single valued versus multi-valued attributes, stored versus derived attributes, null values, and complex attributes. So let's study one by one. So you can just find an example, whatever I mentioned, it's meant like it's given here. What do you mean by entities? One more thing from the next class, like probably today also, if we possible, if you please take a pen and a paper while like learn, because you need to learn these things. So please take a pen and paper while doing this class. Okay, because we'll be doing practically a bit of things, so that's why we need it. So you can see these are the two this entities E1 and C1. So these are the attributes when attributes has the specific value. For employee ID, suppose name, address, age, home phone. Okay, maybe the phone number. So basically this is the value for this attribute. Okay, similarly for C1 also, this for the company. So we have name equal name, headquarters, and president. So these are the, we are showing the diagram, just two, these are the two entities, employee and company. And these are the attributes where the attributes are assigned to some values. Next, moving to types of attributes. First, we remember, like if you just go back, simple, so or the atomic attributes. What is a simple attribute? A simple attribute will have a single value for that particular attribute. Okay, suppose if I tell inform, like for a student, your roll number, what value it will contain? Only single value, right? The value will be obviously unique and it will be single value. Similarly, if you have a gender or sex also, that means also either it will be male, female, transgender, right? Three types of genders are there. So that is why that will be very specific. So that is why it will contain a single atomic value, symbol value. So that is why it is known as the simple. Now, what do you mean by composite? We have seen just simple versus composite. Composite means that attribute can be divided into various types. For example, your name. Okay, your name may comprise of first name and last name. Similarly, your address can also be uh, break down, like your apartment number, then what about apartment number, your city, then your state address, zip code. So these are the examples of the address. That is why it is known as the composite attribute. Are you clear? Composite. Simple means it will contain a single value. Composite means that attribute can be broken down. Just think of a name. Your name comprises, it can like of the first name, middle name and last name. Similarly, for address also, if you have an address field stored, then that also can be broken down into various fields. Suppose your house number, probably your apartment number, okay, then you give the location of it, your building, then street. So these are the things that can be broken down, right? Again, you can see here, composition may form a hierarchy where some components are themselves composites. So some of the part of the composite attribute itself can also be composite. Now let me give you an example. See, address can be broken down into, okay, address can be broken down into street address, city, state, and zip. Again, this street address can be broken down into number, street, apartment number. So that that means the composite attribute can again be composite. Are you clear now? Please, if you are not clear, please tell me.
Yes, ma'am, clear.
Okay.
Clear.
Next, moving to the multi-valued attributes. Suppose some of the attributes may be there, okay, some properties of the any entity may be there which may have multiple values. Suppose for an employee or for a student where you're applying for something, there is an attribute like degrees, previous degrees. So that attribute that can be multiple. If you someone says previous degree, so now you are people doing graduation, right? So before that you have 10th and then 12th also. So these things can be divided. It has two fields, not a single valued, right? Similarly, after you go for your masters, there will be three of your of our previous. Someone says previous degree, then it will be your graduation, 12th and 10th. So it will be divided. It can have multiple values. Similarly, if you think the attribute of color of a car, so that color of a car can be different. It may be silver, it may be white, it may be black, it may be blue or something. So more than one values can be there. So it is known as multi-valued. Clear? Multi-valued attribute. How it can be multi-valued? Anyone not clear? See, if you have any problem saying it, you can just write it down in a chat also if you have not understood, so that I get to know. Everyone clear? Ankita, are you clear? Ankita, are you there? Showing. Ankita, Ankuran, are you clear? Yes, no? Okay. Moving to the derived attribute. So you have already studied C++, right? Something we studied about the derived class and the base class. So that means any attribute, okay, any attribute when you compute from the other attribute, okay, is known as the derived attribute. So here I have taken an example. Suppose age. Suppose age you derive from what? You can derive the age from, if given a date of birth attribute, you can derive the age from the date of birth. So that is why it is known as a derived attribute. Now what does this stored attribute means? Stored attribute, that is a base class, like the concept of base class we have in C++, from where we derive the attribute age, that is a date of birth, right? So that is known as the stored attribute. Just wait, Ujjwal is waiting. Clear about derived and stored? From stored attribute we derive the attribute, that is the derived attribute. That is from base class you derive the value object, right? That is known as a derived object or something. Same concept. So from date of birth, where we can find the age, where the date of birth is known as the stored attribute and age is known as the what? Derived attribute. Please stop me if you don't understand anything. Next, what does this null value mean? Okay, sometimes it may be possible that for some attribute there are no values for a specific person. Suppose here I have also given an example, like someone who have not done graduation. Okay, so the previous degree for graduation will be obviously null. It should accept null. It should not be that they should always accept some degrees. There needs to be degrees to accept it. It's possible, right? For someone living in this one quarter or something, any normal single home, it's like useless to have a flat number in their address. It's useless, like, so they should accept the null value. If you know do not have this null value, then there will be problem. So null values are used basically wherever the value is not applicable or it is unknown. Clear? Please ask like if you're clear or not. Yes, Avinash, are you clear? Okay, question. Okay. Moving to the now complex attributes. Now this is basically a combination of composite and multi-valued attributes. Okay, so multi-valued attributes, we taken an example of composite. We have the name, okay, where it can be divided into two or three, whatever you say, like middle name, sorry, first name, middle name, and last name. And multi-valued, suppose we have the color, that is, there can be different colors for a car, okay, or different these are the things, okay. Then like we have taken a complex attribute, so it's basically a combination of this can be nested composite and okay, Sahil is waiting. So basically a combination of this one composite and multi-valued. See, your when it is mentioned previous degrees, so previous degree of student have several attributes in itself also, because we will see in previous degree you need to mention like what was your percentage. Then suppose first you mention the name of the degree. Okay, first you mention the name of the degree, then you mention which like which year is also there, then percentage, from which school or college you passed out. So these are involved in this complex attributes, and you mark that complex attribute in this parenthesis. By looking the parenthesis, we know that you are talking about the complex attribute. Okay, see, once we do it, you will just get to understand it. We need to practice it to understand these things. So basically these are the collection of entity types. Okay, so we have a here employee and company. These are the two entity type. I also mentioned that entity is something which has physical existence. So obviously employee has physical existence, and also company has company has physical existence. So you can see the attributes for company are name, age, salary, and company is name, headquarter, and president. Okay, so collection or set of entities that have the same attributes. So these are the values for the entities. Just now we'll check. Now moving to the entity relationship model concepts. So before moving to the model concepts, we need to study the types of attributes and what do you mean by entity. Okay, so basically here it's a very this model. Why do we go for model? So see, whenever you need to build a building also, okay, before starting with the building, we go for some design over the pen and papers. How do we want our house to how do we want our home to look like or house to look like? If we don't have, a proper planning, if a proper plan in a paper, then what happens is a proper then sometimes we think of that, no, I want some baby, this room should be this much big, okay, 14 by 14 inch, something like that. But later you realize that okay, most of the space has been used up, so I need to just short it. So you there can be again breaking of the same thing, which will involve something cost. So if you have every, like if you have a diagram in beforehand, you know how to plan exactly how to start with the construction. Similarly in software design also, so if you go for building like any university management system, So you people being the like in a software domain, you need to if you are building the software, so you need to talk to the management part. Management will tell you what are their requirements. Okay, you understand the requirements and tell the designers to design it, and then you start implementing. So what happens is, if you don't do that process, if you don't go for a meeting with the management will keep on modifying their requirements every day by day. Okay, so I think people are studying software engineering, so there is mention only. So that requirements are, and the requirements will keep on increasing, and that's very difficult. That becomes very difficult to accommodate in your implementation, because changing a coding, it's really a complex task. Okay, if you keep on modifying that coding, so it's very important. So you have some model in hand, so that based on that you can do your implementation part. That is a conceptual model unit. So ER is basically that one only. You have a conceptual model, you know the how the system will work. Okay, so you have a brief idea of it. It is basically a theoretical, you cannot implement it, but still by going through the diagram, you know that what are the things, what are the, how many tables will be there, how they will be linked to each other, how they will be communicating, you get a idea of it. So in ER model, we represent the entities using a rectangular box. Suppose student, we write and we display it as a, we keep it inside a rectangle box, and the attributes are represented in oval. Okay, and some things we have relationship also. I think relationship is not mentioned, leave it, let me tell you. Okay, then we have whatever I told you, every and if a table has a unique key, that is a primary key, we discussed about it, that is unique to each table, then we underline it using how do we understand in a diagram? By giving an underline to that attribute. Okay, and multi-valued attributes are displayed in double oval. So I'll show you the diagram. So just, this is very important. Okay, this naming convention, how do you represent it? Because we draw the tables, diagrams. Okay, so here you see this rectangle means entity. Whenever we have this double rectangle, it means weak entity. Weak entity we'll study, of course, but for now, weak entity is something which does not have a unique key, that is the primary key. Then relationships are represented using a diamond. Double diamond means weak relationship. Okay, or identifying relationship, it's a weak relationship. Attributes are represented using a oval. Key attribute, that the primary key, is represented using this symbol, underline. Whatever, suppose employee ID, then you underline it and you write it this way. Multi-valued in double ovals. Composite, that is you have a name, right? Yeah, name. So you will write the name here and it will break down here. Okay, and a derived attribute like this. So for now, what I suggest is, please take a screenshot of this one so that you remember while doing it. Okay, till this point, any confusion?
No, ma'am.
Yes.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, just take a screenshot of this image. Okay, next, here we have something, convention. So what does this mean? This E1, obviously, like this we know from this rectangular box, it means it is a entity, right? And this is again a entity, and this is a relationship using a diamond. So okay, what does that mean? Suppose student is an entity, course is also an entity. Suppose you replace this E1 and E2 as student and course. Okay, so students enroll in course. So this type of relationships are there. Okay, now just forget about it. Just think, when you have like this conventions, a single line and here double line, what does this double line means? That it total participation, E2, like here total participation of E2 is there. Okay, here E1 does not have, it has, since there is single line, it means partial participation, and where there is double line, it means E2 has the total participation. Now something called as, we'll study about it, so don't get confused, we'll study just as showing you the diagram, how does it look. Next we have this one, cardinality. Okay, 1:n, we can remember is m:n also. I'll just explain to you. Just check the diagram for now. So this is how a table looks like, a schema looks like. So here you can see car is an entity. Okay, car is an entity where it has two primary keys, registration number and vehicle ID. Okay, it has two key attributes. Okay, so you can see these are the attributes: year, model, color, make. Then this is what composite attributes, because registration number can be divided into state and number, because before we live in Assam. So what happens is the registration number, as you all know, starts with AS, right? So this registration number can be divided into two, state and number. Similarly, color of a car, it's a multi-valued, right? So multi-valued attributes is represented using this double circle. So this is how an entire table is entity is represented. Okay, it has two key attributes, but it is not always the case. Okay, it is a special case that we have two key attributes. Generally we have one only. Now if we want to go for creating the, just check the question. If we need to create a ER diagram for this one, ER diagram not just for the this one, okay, just a tables. We need to create a database schema designed based on the following requirements of the company database. The company is organized into departments. Each department has name, number. Okay, so we have to create one table, name, department, where it will have attribute, name and number, and an employee. Rahul is joining now. Just wait. Yeah. And an employee who manages the department. Again, we need to keep the like we keep track of the start date of the department manager. Okay, we need to keep the mention, like where the when did the company manager started to work in that department. Again, a department may have several locations. Okay, a department, it's possible that it may have several locations. Each department controls a number of projects. The things marked in red means these are the entities. You did how you have to here see in the case study. This is basically a case study where I have marked it as red. The entities, you have to think about it. Where are the entities in this case study? Going through it, anything which has, so you remember the definition of an entity, anything which has physical existence, okay, that will form the entity. So here you know department has a physical existence, so that will be one table. Again, employee word is there, so obviously there will be one uh, and table for this one also. Again, a department has several locations, for that is also possible. Now we have a table. Each department controls a number of projects. Okay, existence is there. Then each project has a unique name, unique number, and a located at a single location. So if we want to create this table, so how will it look like? So if we would have been in a physical class, I would like ask you to do it. For now, just for today's class, I'm just showing you the table. How does it look like? So we have these databases. Okay, we can have this. For employee, what are the things we can have? Just check. For the employees, we can have, this is a social security number, or you can think of all the employee ID also. These are the attributes. Okay, properties we have, address can be there, salary can be there, sex can be there, and date of birth is there. Then each employee works for one department but may also work on several projects. Okay, so one employee, you can have to just use your brain. It is possible for a company to work in IT department, but they can work on various projects, right? So that is one department, various projects. And we can keep track of the number of hours per week that an employee currently works on each project. Then we can also keep track of the direct supervisor of each employee, who is the manager. Next, each employee may have a number of dependents. Dependents means your children or your parents, so that's the dependents. For each dependent, we can keep track of their name, sex, date of birth, and relationship to the employee. So this will somewhat look like this one. Please take the screenshot of this page. I'll show you the diagram then. See, these are the entity names, and these are the what? Attributes. So properties are there. By here, these are the complex attributes. If you find these are the complex attributes, because it is under this project is under this parenthesis. Again, location is also a complex, and then this is what. Next, start. This something that I think everyone has taken the diagram, sorry, screenshot of that one, last page. So this is the conceptual design. Okay, this is actually, the link is not there, but if you draw the table, it will somewhat look like this for each entity. See, employee has attributes, name, which is a composite attribute, which which is composed of first name, middle name, last name. Then where this SSN or employee ID is marked with this one underline, so it means it is the primary key. Employee works in which department, so it is mentioned here. Date of birth, then sex, gender, that is the gender, then salary, then works on, there, that is it works on how many projects, which project, and for how many hours, because it is possible for a company. Suppose you can just think, I'm your teacher. Okay, I'm your teacher, but I'm taking DBMS in your class. I'm taking software engineering in another class. I'm taking like cloud computing in another class. So I'm working in different subjects, right? So similarly, an employee can work in single department, but can work on several projects. For me, since I'm in teaching. So for me, these projects are different subjects. Okay, so you can think, works on how many projects and for how many hours. Then obviously, who is the supervisor, and lastly, my address also is there. Okay, so this address is also a multi-value. So if I want, I can break it down like this, like the name. Okay, similarly, employee has dependent. Okay, this is totally depend upon you. Like if you want to give it, you can write it. If you don't want, don't give it. So just think. So employee has dependent. So where is yeah. So mention the date of birth, relationship with the employee, then the gender, that is a sex, that is the employee, for of which employee. Okay, this is a different table is there, of which employee, and the dependent name. Next we have the department. So department name and number. So you have in the last slide also, the case study, we saw that name and number, there are two together forms a primary key. Then we have the location, that is a multi-valued attribute. Then manager start date and the manager, who is the manager, right? And last we have the project, location, name, number, and controlling departments. So this is basically the preliminary like entity types. Okay, next week, after we study about this relationship, we'll not study today. Okay, then we'll move to this diagram, how these employees, departments, dependent, project are linked. See, your diagrams to these entities, I have used so many attributes. Okay, it's not that you may use the same attributes, it may be different also. I have written here SSN, you can also write employee ID. Okay, this look, few of the attributes are necessary, but always you can also add yours also. If you think anything I have not added here, you can add that one also, that attribute also. So any confusion till this point? I know it's confusing since it's just a first class. Once you practice it, so what I suggest is, just take a picture of this one. Okay, just take a screenshot, and first, what today you will do is, after going through this, like everything, I think most of you have understood, just try to implement this. Try to in the going through this company database case study, just try to draw in your copy the entities you find. Okay, then you will properly understand what I'm trying to say. Students, you feel confused right now?
No, ma'am.
Clear?
Yes.
See, what you need to do is, please go through this case study. If you want, if you wish, please take the screenshot. Okay, screenshot of it and try to draw it yourself. Okay, you now know that entity we represent in a rectangle. Okay, you need to find out here. This is very easy because I have already mentioned. So you just draw the entities and draw it in your copy also, because you need to draw, practice this. These ER diagrams are very, very important, let me tell you. Okay, so this was all about today's class. If you have any confusion, very, very small topic, I have just, because I'm dividing the entire topic here. Any confusion? Yes, students, any confusion?
No, ma'am.
No? Okay. Okay, one more thing. Wednesday we have lab class. So I request all of you, those who have not installed, please install the MySQL. Because in this lab class, what I will do is I'll show you some commands and then give you an assignment and ask you to implement, and then you need to show me. I think you need to submit me the assignment. Okay, because we have 3 hours class. So by the end of the class till 4 we have. So maybe by 3:30 you need to submit the assignment. Okay. So for that purpose, please install MySQL. There are available videos are there in YouTube based upon your system, either whether you are using Windows 8 or 10, so or any Linux machine also. Please install MySQL. Tutorials are available, and if you find any problem, just tell me. And Kaushik, okay. Then you need to just show me, give me this one, like if you have any queries, then you need to tell me that you have spacing problem, but please try to install MySQL, because last class also we have seen that, okay, if we don't install MySQL, there will be some problems which I won't be able to show. So I will also install in my laptop also. Okay, so please install the MySQL. Okay, let me search some computers here.
मैम लोलू स्क्रीनशॉट
ठीक है sir. Okay, thank you everyone. So next class we'll go for the types of relationship, not in the lab class. Lab class we'll study about DML. Okay. Okay, thank you everyone.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
I won't be sharing the slide today. Okay, in the after I complete, then only I will share.